Got an article from BoundingTheComics.com here. Voice actor Steve Blum doubled down on support for Disney's reparations call, exposes his own ignorance regarding current state of political activism. Prolific voice actor Steve Blum has doubled down on support for Disney's recent call for black reparations, and in the process exposes his own ignorance regarding the full extent of the concepts being pushed by his ideological allies. As previously reported, because they'd done a story about this before, the man behind such iconic English voice roles as Cowboy Bebop's Spike Sequel, Naruto's Orochimaru, and Marvel's Wolverine across various media threw his hat into the debate on reparations in response to a recent episode. Penny and her friends, and it's in the show Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. Therein, Penny and her friends perform a slam poetry number calling for black people to receive some sort of payment from the United States government as an apology for their being the victims of the once legal practice of chattel slavery. Excuse me. Basically, the Twitter account End Wokeness opinion that this segment was blatant anti-white propaganda. Blum combatively asserted in a February 8th tweet, "I'm white and a voice actor who will probably never work on this show for the most excellent of reasons. Your tweet is blatantly racist. Your anti-woke rhetoric is dangerous and divisive. I full-throatedly support Disney Plus, the Proud Family, and all my colleagues for doing this." Just a quick aside, reparations will never happen because there's just too much. There's too many problems. You got to DNA test everybody in the country, try to find a link to, confirmed slaves in your ancestry. Then you say, okay, well, who's going to pay for it and all this kind of stuff. It's literal virtue signaling. It'll never happen. It's ridiculous. Anyway, in light of this disingenuous attack, Blum's response was subsequently going to be covered by Bounding the Comics on February 13th. They talked about it. Then I was out of gloss over this kind of stuff. Not to make light of the readers or anything like that, but some of the people had responded basically to Bounding the Comics talking about, another one turns of shit in my eyes. How can a guy voice so many of my favorites yet be so cucked? My life is a lie. Then it says, deciding for unspecified reasons, I'll reply to this exchange out of the dozens generated by Bounding the Comics' initial tweet. Blum interjected to defensively swing, teaching actual history so evil is not repeated as cucked, so you report to your ignorance and hate fueled by book banning. What's the MAGA buzzword for that? Taken aback by his accosting, he replied, I didn't mention books, but since you did when it comes to things like this being in fucking grade schools, yes, I am okay with book banning. Along with his tweet, he shared an excerpt from Maya Kobabe's graphic novel Genderqueer, a memoir, a book regularly stocked in grade school libraries and recommended to children, with links, by the way, you can check it out for yourself, wherein Kobabe offers an explicit language-filled recount of their first sexual experience with a strap-on toy. Prepare yourself for that. Yes, this is in elementary schools and stuff. You could find it. It's recommended. Like, what the fuck? Problem isn't that they're sucking on a strap-on. It's the fact that this is in an elementary school. Like, what the fuck? However, this response would lead Blum to reveal his own woeful ignorance of the current state of political activism, so much so that it confirmed it wouldn't be a stretch to believe that he regularly receives all of his information from only the most partisan of left-wing outlets. That's just porn. The voice of Final Fantasy VII's pre-remake Vincent Valentine denied in return. Not at all what we're talking about. It is from your collection. It should never be in a school. Chris Chan replied that is the book Genderqueer. That is one of the books that people are up in arms about being in elementary schools. Look into it, see how you're being lied to. Oops. Offering one final comment on the situation before exiting the conversation, Blum declared, I wouldn't want my young kids reading anything explicitly sexual. Orientation doesn't matter. We were talking about whitewashing history. I think that kind of sums up the whole thing about people talking. You should never talk definitively about anything unless you are absolutely certain that what you're saying is true. And in a lot of cases, even that's hard to come by. You shouldn't be talking, like Blum shouldn't have been talking about book banning and stuff if he doesn't know about this. Basically, is what I'm saying. It's just ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here, though. I've already gone over 4 minutes. Like I said, I'll link this in the description box if you want to read it for yourself. But this is just, it exposes that so many people, like the article said, they get all their information from these partisan websites. And then there's left-wing partisanism, right-wing partisanism. It's like, it's very hard to get just news these days. Everyone's got an agenda. Everyone's trying to push a narrative. It's fucking ridiculous. And in this case, Blum basically exposed himself. I'm surprised. I haven't checked. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't delete these tweets because, it basically, like I said, it showed his ignorance. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.